aren't bad. It's the toxic chemicals that are bad. And so people hear natural and they're like, no thanks, because we need it to cover our gray. Like it has to work, and all natural
Personally,
doesn't usually do the trick. Yeah,
me too.
We
I
all
agree.
know. Yeah, I think we all know.
Good wine novices.
Do we need to change our accent?
Oui, mademoiselle.
Yes,
This is a French wine.
There's that French all the
C'est la
way.
vie. So this is.
Can I sing the song?
It's called C'est la vie. Go ahead. Do it, Dori. You sing every time anyway.
C'est la vie, c'est la vie. That's just the way it goes. Sorry. Does anybody else remember that song?
I do.
Okay, good, because otherwise you got to get the hell out. Because I'm too old if you don't remember that
I
song.
know, that's a great song.
So I'll post a picture of this. It is a French wine. C'est la vie, Pinot Noir, and a Syrah.
I like both of those.
So it was only like $13. It is a screw top.
A French wine, $13.
It's a French wine. We try to get them like. So
I
that
heard
they're
they're doing more and more wines with a screw top. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yeah,
I guess so.
I think so. Yeah, they are. Even some of the expensive wines
That's
are
why,
turning into
really,
screw.
because I brought one to dinner one time with my girlfriends because I'm not a wine connoisseur. I like it, but anyway, I brought a bottle and I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I cannot take this in. It's freaking a twist off, you know.
Well, it wasn't a
actually
box.
nice
You're
one,
okay.
But I didn't take it in.
was
But
a good box
then
for
I
it.
found out. I'm like, somebody said no. They're actually doing that with even more expensive ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about the cork. I heard like they don't have enough of the cork. Is that
Well, and this maybe it preserves,
that's it.
keeps the
Better?
air from getting in there better than the cork sometimes. I mean,
Maybe, yeah.
They
If
can
it's
tell
not
with the
sealed.
cork whether it's a good wine or not. You know, sometimes they check the cork.
Yeah.
So it may depend upon what your opinion about it.
Maybe
but,
it's so you can keep it standing upright, because with the cork you want to have it
yeah.
down soaking the cork. I don't know.
Oh, see, I didn't
I'm
know
making
that.
that
We'll
up.
have to look. We'll have to.
I'm
look
just
that
making
up
shit
and
up
see.
now.
Well, that sounded good. I would just go with it.
In my opinion. All right.
fine.
So let's see what we think. It's very dark, burgundy.
Yes.
Smells sweet. It smells plummy, which I like.
It does smell plummy. I think I smell a little cherry.
It's good.
I think it's good.
Pretty smooth. Those a little.
You got to. Yeah.
That's what Marco does.
She's been around the people that know.
So it has a bitterness on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, it does have a little.
It has a tingling on the back part, kind of like you bit into a lemon. And then when you swallow it, it's not super bitter. It's not real sweet, though.
It's not too dry, and it's not too sweet. It's kind of in the middle of the road, which I like that.
It's MOR.
I'm definitely not drinking it right because I'm like, wait, huh? I just. That's why wine people don't like me because I don't have a clue. I just don't
do you
appreciate
like
it. I do. Yeah.
Do you like red wines?
I do. I'm like I drink whiskey if I'm drinking. Have to
That's
say.
my girl.
Yeah, I'm a whiskey drinker, but I do like wine. Like I'll drink it. It's just not my.
Yeah, it's not your fave.
Yeah.
But she's forced to drink it.
No,
She's
no,
forced.
I don't even have to be forced.
Did she pour you too much?
No, no,
She
I like
poured
it.
you guys
I like it.
like
It's
it.
just
Yes,
not my.
really good.
Yeah.
What kind of whiskey you like? Can we switch? Can we start tasting whiskeys?
I think we should.
We should do
gonna
wine
be
and whiskey.
awful.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Are you a red wine drinker?
I love rosés, but I like
I
all
almost
wine.
got a rosé.
That's okay. I love red wine. Just it has a tendency to give me a little bit of a headache occasionally. So
And sometimes that comes from the sulfites in
French wines don't
domestic
have
wines,
sulfites,
but
other
French
than what's
wines.
natural.
So hopefully, and the thing is too is at my age, red wine does bother me a little bit more. My hormones and makes me hot and all that
Flush
kind of
a
stuff.
little bit,
So
yeah.
it's true. I drink less red wine than I used to drink. But I love red wine. It's better for you.
I think it's good for me because I drink it slower.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, how often do you drink like an Italian or a French wine? Are you usually drinking like California wines or
I drink
Oregon
a lot
wines?
of California wines.
Yeah,
honestly.
so there's going to be the difference there is they don't have regulations like they do over in Italy. Like they don't put other additives over in other countries like France and Italy. Yeah. And in California, even though they've got great wines, no doubt about it.
And some
there
vineyards
are some
are better than others.
and some are organic.
Definitely.
There are some, but they can put chemicals and things in their wines to make them taste the same, regardless of whether they had a good year or not.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
you think about some of these popular wines that I love that we've tasted before, but it doesn't matter if it's a 2010 or 2008 or 2019, it's going to taste the same. You know what you're going to get every single time you open that bottle. And the only way that can happen is because they can put stuff in it to make that way.
Good
so
information.
a lot of times people will get headaches from that, or
and the pesticides. There's a lot of pesticides in California wines, unless they're certified organic.
And a lot of them are grown by the roadside, so you've got all of the exhaust, because if you look at a grape, they kind of got little fingery, so those hold on to all of the pollution and all of this crap that's driving by.
I've never even thought that.
So
it's crazy.
There are good wine growers in California. We don't want to discount everybody, but
no, not at all. And Oregon and all over the place.
Yeah.
But that being
just
said,
gotta be careful.
You don't like your safer beauty products.
Right.
You might not know what's in it until you investigate.
Well, and I think the best thing to do is to drink wines from other countries and without the sulfites and the additives, and then once in a while enjoy, I like a good apothic or whatever.
I do too.
So I drink that once in a while, but that's not my mainstay of wine, so that I'm not getting all that all the time.
Yeah, I said, I learned a lot about wine when I was in Portugal this last fall, and you just realize
I think the best
what an
thing.
art it is, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The best thing we could do is just drink 2 glasses instead of 4.
That too. Sometimes, I do wonder. The other night we had a friend of ours that is one of our my fiance's wine importers, because he buys from importers, and he came over to the house, and so of course he had to open up a beautiful Amarone, which it was so funny because we're sitting there, and my fiance had already had a glass of wine before. A friend came over, and he opens this, and we're drinking it, and all of a sudden I noticed that I have never seen him slur his words a little bit. Have you?
Little.
Maybe a little, right? But he has to drink a lot, right? And we'd only had a couple of glasses. And I'm looking at him, he's like, what is the percentage of alcohol in this? He goes, this is kicking my ass. And I'm like, well, it would, because we've just, you've already had 1 or 2 glasses, and now we've all shared another 2 or 3. It's the amount of wine might have something to do with the headache.
could possibly be part of the problem.
Who are we talking with where in the United States and importing, even, they don't regulate the amount of alcohol? They say it's a certain amount of alcohol that's in the wine or whatever, but it can be above that. And so when it goes above that, then it makes you sicker. I mean, so if the alcohol content is so much higher, you're drinking a glass of wine, you think that you're
getting
getting
9%,
so much,
and you're getting maybe
and
16,
honestly,
18.
you're getting more than that, and then your body is having to process that.
I didn't even know that about.
Yeah.
One bottle could be
so
stronger
much.
than.
It's not regulated very well that way.
All right, let's wrap this wine tasting up.
We better.
You don't have to chug. We just are done with this. But
C'est la vie. It's French wine. It's about $13 a bottle, and we'll post that on our our website, Facebook page. And I actually took a picture of it in the wine store with the price. So it should be similar. Here in Utah, you can go and shop your wine by your country, which I love. I know when I go home to South Dakota, they don't do that. They just put it by the type of wine rather than the country. So maybe you can put a word in your wine store's ear locally that it'd be fun to have a little trip around the world wine, so that you can say, I want an Italian wine, and you can go right to the Italian wine. Oh, yeah, I want a French wine. So that's kind of a benefit of our stores here in Utah. So anyway,
the only benefit when it comes to alcohol.
I was going to say that, but I'm like,
there aren't a lot.
Amen.
I better be quiet.
I know.
Alrighty.
Agree.
Alrighty, that's it.
We can wrap it up with C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
Cheers.
Well, I have a question. Are there any companies currently in the United States that are trying to go less toxic, that are not getting their voice heard, or are you only being able to trying to help other companies from outside of the United States come into here? So what's going on with that?
We do have brands that are trying to make their way into Utah. Utah's tough when we're talking about the hairdressing world. There are certain brands here that are well known, and the other brands having a bit of a hard time. Most of them are from Europe. Brands that are cleaner because the standards are different. There are a few brands nationally that are trying to make a vegetable blades brand that we've been in contact with. And there are some local Salt Lake City brands that are just more, local. And so that's kind of what we're trying to create is a platform for different brands that are local to be able to talk about what they have and why it's different. Because like Julie just said, we want, when you go to get your hair done, you want the color to work.
Yeah, for sure.
And so obviously there are chemicals in there.
Yeah.
So what are the brands that have the best formula for being the safest and still be effective?
That's just safer. Like we just need it to be safer.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's kind of, I think the challenge is to help the consumers understand so they can demand that from their hairdresser. It's going to force the hairdressers and, the professionals to educate themselves and step up. Yeah. And so that's our hope, is to be able to create a group of, several different products to say, these fit within these standards. These are some great ones to use, and give those companies a chance to come in and show their stuff.
Yeah, I was wondering how you were going to get them actually into the salons and into the hands of the professionals that are using them when you've got these giant companies that we don't have to name that and have been around for eons that are the ones that are supplying the salons. Like, you can get almost the same product at each salon, and maybe one has a little bit different, but a lot of them are the same.
Yeah.
You can actually get those at the grocery store too.
Yes.
Like what's in
the
salon.
Yes, you can now. So, that's true.
Well, and our listeners are all over the country, so not just here in Utah, but looking for something local that's better for them, that has less toxic chemicals in it. Something to ask your hair provider.
Your professional.
Your hair professional, yes. And, the thing is that this has to be a grassroots movement. So we as consumers need to be the people that stand up and say, hey, we want to know what's going on in our body. We don't want all those toxic chemicals. And once we start saying, and awareness is made known, then the industry can change. So I'm excited that you guys are running out there ahead of everything to try to get that changed.
We're hoping it does something, but I really am certain that, hairdressers, there are people, and so we're a little partial maybe, but they are the hardest working people ever. Yeah. So I really think it's a matter of just giving this this information to them and help educate them, so that they want to go educate their clients before they're even asked. I really think it's something that is going to happen eventually. We just want it to happen sooner than later.
Yeah, for sure.
Were you saying you have some sort of a training program or some certification?
Yeah. Something? We're starting a certification program. So stylists can come that's kind of the way our industry does things. If we want to do extensions or balayage, we go get certified in these things. And so we are doing a Safer Beauty certification, so they can come and hear this information and also see some of the product lines that we have found that are amazing. Like, they honestly, in my opinion, work better because
that's awesome.
It's not blowing up your hair, your cuticle too much.
Right.
There's things that really, I think they're just as good as far as performing, and in my opinion, sometimes better. So we're really excited to even show them that. They have to commit to using those, and we want to we're collecting as many brands and companies that we can, because we have to have lots of options for them. So if we can get a lot, which we're doing, when we get a lot of these options, I think we're going to launch in February, the end of this month. And then
you are in February.
And Kristin just looked at me like, what? Well, but our first certification class, we're saying is going to be in the end of March. So we're still working a few of the things out and finding the right educators to come in from these product lines to do colors so that they can see. That's just how we do it. Our events anyway, the hair classes.
It's probably going to be interesting and difficult to maybe get into the big conventions where all of these brands are promoting themselves. You kind of have to do that on your own, individually, aside from that, so that people can get all that information without that kind of competition.
Well, and there was just an article that I read about one of the bigger distributorships, not naming names, but that even they are being forced to have a larger selection of more naturally based